Hey guys, welcome back to Field Notes. We are entering our final month of indigo surveys for this season, and today I was out in the field doing a couple surveys. It was forecast to get pretty hot, so I got an early start, and it heated up pretty quick, and I didn't end up seeing any snakes. So what I'm going to do this month is demonstrate one of our more useful pieces of equipment that we use on indigo surveys, and that is the burrow camera. So here's our basic burrow camera setup. We've got a monitor right here in this Pelican case, and we plug in this cable. It attaches to this hose, and this hose is 25 feet long, and at the end of it we have a lens, a camera lens, and then a ring of LED lights. So when we flip the camera on, these lights will turn on, and as we feed the camera down the burrow, it'll give us a good image on the monitor. Alright, so all I need to do is turn on the camera and it's ready to go down the burrow. Alright, we've got a picture. Here we go. Past the pine needles here. Alright, so this burrow is pretty smooth. Looks like we probably have recent tortoise activity coming up and down. It's pretty smooth, pretty maintained. Now these burrows can go as far as 30 plus feet deep. I have a 25-foot cable, and I've run out of cable while scoping tortoise burrows. They're very, very impressive. Vertical depth, about 8 to 10 feet on average, so really impressive burrows. And I don't see any yet, but sometimes we'll get little side chambers or rodent burrows, or where the old tunnel of the burrow used to go, you'll get branches off the main chamber. And a lot of these commensals will spend their time in those parts of the burrow rather than the main chamber. So even if we have a snake in here, there's no guarantee, there's no 100% guarantee that we'll actually detect the snake with the camera. But we do see a lot more than we would if we didn't use the camera. So as we continue, this image is upside down, by the way. As you navigate the burrow, you have to rotate it and roll it to get just to make it down through the thick sand and making turns. So sometimes the image is upside down or sideways. Here we go. We got a spider, a couple spiders sitting on the roof, more roots, and here we go. We've got a tortoise. And this appears to be a pretty shallow burrow. I think that's probably the end. But what we do, oh, there's a bunch of crickets hanging out on the wall. Lots of insect commensals when you scope burrows. You see lots of crickets and spiders, sometimes caterpillars, just lots of cool stuff down there. Here we go. We've got the tortoise. This appears to be the end of the burrow, but what we do is we give him a little tap, a little bump, a little nudge, just to encourage him to move down in case he's halfway up the tunnel. And there we go. We gave him a bump. He doesn't seem to be moving very much. Give him another one. He's shifting a little bit, but if he was further up the tunnel, he would take off towards the back. So this appears to be the end of the tunnel. And if there was an indigo snake or a diamondback, oftentimes we'd be able to see at least some scales around the tortoise as we rotated the camera and give little nudges. The snake would usually become visible. So it appears that there's no snake here, but we do get a good look at a tortoise. And that's pretty much it. This is a fairly short burrow. This can be a much longer, much more difficult process if you have a flatter section in the burrow, or you get some deep sand or wet sand that'll cover up the camera. You got to do a lot of rotating. of the camera to get through those tough patches and clean off the lens. But this is pretty short and simple. So with that, I think we're gonna go ahead and pull the camera out and leave this tortoise alone. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple technique. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to it, but it really does make our surveys that much more thorough. If we just stick to looking at what's on top of the ground, we'd miss a lot of snakes. So we're able to detect indigo snakes far more just because of this equipment. Thank you guys for tuning in, and in closing, I'll leave you with a couple examples of animals we've scoped with the Burrow camera on indigo snake surveys. So I hope you enjoy, and see you guys next month.